So Carnosaur came out in May 1993, 30 years ago. The story follows a character, Doc Smith, a blue-collar worker, your everyman, and he's being tormented consistently by a bunch of evil, ugly, disgusting, smelly hippie environmental activists. But Doc Smith has a new friend who just came into town, the Carnosaur. Velociraptors and a T-Rex, who then proceed to eat all of the hippies, and everybody lived happily ever after. No, not really. So Gene Siskel liked this movie. Roger Ebert did not. And, I think I'm going to go a little bit more with Gene, all right? I can recommend the movie because it's a hoot and a holla, for sure. It's not objectively good. The dinosaurs are incredibly shitty, which is the one thing that Siskel and Ebert did actually agree on in that review. It's a Roger Corman production, so, if you follow that man's career, you know kind of what you're in for, except for the fact that this movie is fucking gory. And actually, even given the fact that there's some really shitty dinosaur effects in it, it can be pretty disturbing in parts. These dinosaurs mercilessly eat everybody alive. And it's kind of funny too, because even the story in and of itself is kind of absurd. There's this scientist lady who's a mental case, and she wants to save the planet from the disease of humanity. These dinosaurs hatch from chicken eggs, via genetic modification, and they turn into velociraptors. And then there's a virus that all of the women get in our populace, which essentially makes them pregnant with a dinosaur egg, and it's kind of like an alien thing, except they physically give birth to an egg. Totally out there plot, but its execution in parts is actually quite good, particularly Diane Ladd. Okay, this movie is worth it to watch just for her performance. She carries this movie on her back. So the crappy special effects with the dinosaurs, combined with the fact that a bunch of obnoxious protesters get eaten by dinosaurs, I think Carnosaur deserves a remake, personally. I think you can only improve upon that idea. The funny thing about this movie is, it's the first completely unedited R-rated movie that I ever saw. It was my friend Rich's birthday party, and my mom went to drop me off at their apartment, and that movie was playing, and my mom was like, oh god. And it was the scene where a lady gives birth to a dinosaur egg. And my mom was like, guys, I don't know about this. And I was like, Mom, come on, you're embarrassing me. And so she reluctantly left. And, and I proceeded to watch it. I was just like, oh my God. At that time, it was the most thoroughly disturbing thing that I've ever seen. So I will always have a soft spot for Carnosaur. But there were some things there that they definitely, they hit the mark. They hit the mark on it, okay? The dinosaurs were the absolute worst thing. The main actors are pretty decent. Diane Ladd is fantastic. The periphery characters, some of them are kind of eh. It's a fun movie. And it did get me kind of thinking, because the 30th anniversary for Jurassic Park is June, I think, 9th coming up. So it was my initial plan to go through all three Carnosaur movies, but it's they just got progressively worse. In Carnosaur 3, I don't even want to put myself through the nightmare of watching that film again. They didn't even try, let's just put it that way. But I figured, I'd do those three movies and then the three Jurassic Park movies, but nah, we're just gonna do the three Jurassic Park movies when the time comes. So yeah, Carnosaur, what did you guys think? Has anybody seen it? If not, again, I would recommend it not as oh my God, it's such a great movie, you gotta watch it, but as a, okay, it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's got lots of blood and guts, really shitty dinosaurs, and if you're in the mood to watch a bad movie that kind of pulls it off here and there, this one's for you, for sure. So if you guys like this video, please leave a like, subscribe. If you are watching this on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my Rumble channel. If you are watching this on Rumble, I also have a YouTube channel as well, so please check me out there. And that's all she wrote.